Welcome back to the Long and Thick podcast, where we help you navigate the noise and cut through the bullshit in the health and wellness space. Ronnie, how the hell are you?
Fucking fabulous. Ooh, you know, it just dawned on me. I have that little treat in my pocket over there. Yeah.
Oh.
Do I run in and get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I'm very good. Hold on.
Knock something over. What is also a treat, so as of today, time of filming, it's not going to air. We don't have that much foresight to air on the actual anniversary, but as of today, why is it all clanky over there? We, as of this past Friday, released our 52nd episode.
One whole
1
year
year straight. We met our goal. We'll continue to do so of 1 week. One episode for every week of the year since we started. We've kept cranking. So thank you to everyone that's been a part of this and listened along, followed along, wrote in, supported us along the way, gave us ideas, told us how much we suck.
Yep.
All of you, we are thankful. So Ronnie, happy 1 year anniversary.
We actually fucking did it. I know we spoke to it a few times in like the end of the year, you know, December-ish last year, but this is the true cornerstone time.
Filming in December, but our first release was March 6th of 2025.
Bada fucking boom, we're
We
here.
did the damn thing. So what Roniford scampered away to go procure, if you've followed along for any stretch of time, you know he's very much into Pokemon and the collectability of Pokemon cards. So he has with him,
That's what's clanking. There's a coin in here.
Okay. I'm going to keep talking while you get ready. So, he has a blade on him.
Knife it up.
But in card collectible culture, especially around Pokemon of recent times, the pull is...
For this one?
The pull of any sort is often streamed and shared, and we get to witness firsthand in semi-live fashion, whatever his reaction is to whatever he pulls out of this pack.
Yeah, fingers crossed. If you're watching, send fucking energy back in time into the past.
Yeah,
because
a little bit of quantum.
It already happened.
A quantum dap up for you to get some cool shit. So is there a pack in that you have to then open, or is that just raw cards in that tin?
No, there's packs in here. So this is yeah, we're just going to do one. I don't have that much money. Here's a little glittery coin.
A glittery coin. Okay.
So this is for folks who like actually play. And then
so what is this for?
Good question.
This is like if you're old like we are, this feels like a pog.
I think that's part of how you determine some of the turn order or some shit like that when you're actually playing the game.
All right, I don't want you to lose that.
So we have a set called Prismatic Evolutions, which some people call traumatic evolutions because the pull rates, which means that the good cards that you're likely to see in this are pretty fucking abysmal.
Okay, just never.
Pretty much never. So
okay.
The biggest chase card in this is called the Sunbryon. Raw, meaning like if I pull it out of this, the value of it is about $1,000. If you grade it and it does really well, here's the ASMR.
Oh. I'm going to hate editing that.
Fuck. The card could be about 4,000 plus. So
now is the rare hidden in the back or somewhere in the middle?
The rare's in the back. So the trick with this set and more recent sets is you take this guy and fucking piss off.
Bye.
You do one to the front.
Okay.
Now the energy
that's
should be in the front.
Okay. And now the top card that you can't see technically is the rare.
The one all the way in the back should be the last one. So I'm not even going to fucking look. You're going to tell me if I get something fun.
All right.
Is it a hollow or is it regular? Okay. So then it's not a god pack.
You're just going to throw it on the floor?
Yeah. These are just like worth fucking nothing.
Okay. Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, smoking. Sort of sick. Some fucking food. A
Okay.
bug catcher.
Okay. You have a hollow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
These aren't really
hollow.
valuable. Another hollow. So then, in theory, oh wait, there's two more.
Okay, another hollow.
Okay, wait. So now this should be the fucking goodie.
That one card, or you have another one on the back?
Oh, no, I fucked up. Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't hit shit.
Okay. So that's nothing.
No.
Okay.
So welcome to collecting fucking Pokemon cards.
Traumatic evolution or whatever it is.
Your trauma. Care to share?
Oh, I don't have any. Oh, yeah. It wasn't fully traumatic. So, Formula One started last night in Australia at time of recording. It is a brand new formula set, build for the cars, whole new regulation set. So that's always exciting to see what teams made good use of their time and other teams just didn't get it. Ferrari, my team, traditionally will overextend in practice, show good promise, and then not be able to follow it up come race day and qualifying.
Yeah.
So they did similarly. They got one car on the podium. Charles Leclerc got third.
Okay.
Mercedes, they were really good at not exhibiting all of their pace potential during practice. And then
Sneaky Germans kept it in the
and
pocket.
they've had a long time coming. I mean, they are a powerhouse of an outfit that did not do well in the last regulation cycle.
Did they win?
They had a couple scattered wins, but they won this last race. Yes,
Oh, okay.
1 and 2, pretty handily.
Okay.
So one could say that Ferrari also botched their strategy when it comes to pitting. They got a little bit of bad luck, but most of it is self-induced wounds, and that's just standard fare for Ferrari engineering. Unfortunately, they did not necessarily throw their race away because they did have at one point first and third positions. But if you really watch the race and kind of see how it all unfolded and developed, Mercedes had them no matter what. They just pedaled it throughout the race and then let Ferrari kind of shoot themselves in the foot. And then there was, they would have won no matter what.
Au revoir.
Yeah.
Shoshana.
Don't forget the cream. So yeah, I'm excited. It was honestly some of the most spirited racing you've seen in a while because they've changed up certain things around how the cars can deploy their power and their energy for better and for worse. But it does make for a lot more strategy for, it's not just like you pass them and you dust them.
Sure.
Like, you know, there's a lot of push and pull, give and take with energy distribution. So yeah, I'm excited for Formula One. Ferrari did not win, but that's no difference than the last 20
You've
years.
been Ferrari through and through from the get-go? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's not nice, but I'm at least
I
loyal.
respect the commitment.
Yeah. So moving on, we are going to continue with our workout of the week. We've done an upper day, we've done a lower day, and now we have our full body day.
Yes, sir.
I will be leading this one. So in true full body fashion, I will go ahead and asterisk this, that if you have never done this first exercise, maybe have a friend who has, or a trainer that you trust at your gym, at least walk you through it. This is not inherently a dangerous exercise as everyone makes it out to be. It is a fantastically practical and useful exercise to everyday tasks. But if you've never done it, then it helps to have a little bit of direction so you don't tweak something. But that is going to be a trap bar deadlift.
Love it.
A trap bar or a hex bar is going to be a apparatus that you kind of stand inside of, and you have weights to your left and your right, and it keeps the center of balance closer to your actual center rather than the barbell being in front of you, which you then have to navigate. So this is something that, while is perfectly applicable to what we have been talking and that 6 to 10 rep range, once someone gets comfortable with it, I want them kind of in the 4 to 6 rep range, something that's a little bit more challenging to their entire posterior chain, their skeleton, all of that. I want their columnal and structural rigidity to get better with this exercise, as well as their grip strength.
Yeah. And we're keeping this all 3 sets across the board. Yeah. Just for
So this one's slightly lower because it is more taxing as a compound exercise as well. So this one would be 3 sets, 4 to 6 reps.
Beautiful.
What you got for me?
Next up, we have a single arm cable preacher curl. So the way I like to have folks do this, I'll usually set out like a pretty deep squat wedge, or get somebody just to like sit in a passive squat. And then you're going to let your arm get into a nice arm bar style for my jujitsu people onto the top of your knee. And then you're making sure that that pressure stays real heavy in the back of your elbow as you're starting to curl up against the cable.
Nice.
Here we're looking, 3x8 is a comfy space. These get hot and zesty pretty quick, but you want to be ripping that shit out the wall.
Could you give us a alternate if someone maybe is not the most comfortable getting into a squat and holding their weight and balance there?
Yep, you could use a bench and then stay standing and then just post the leg that you're going to use as your tabletop essentially on there. If that feels like dick, then you can put like your sweatshirt or a towel or something behind your arm just to add for a little bit of cushion.
Dope.
Because it is not the most pleasant thing, but
Fair.
shit works nice.
Nice. Sweet. Moving on. This is a full body, so I'll take it down to the lower half of our body. This is going to be a standard seated machine leg extension. So it is a nice, full, comprehensive quad exercise. It also is one of the few things that will actually target the rectus femoris properly in the quadricep. So same thing, 3 sets, 6 to 10 reps. You want to keep your upper body stable, butt fully in the seats. If you can get more of a stretch to get the angle more acute of the knee with your ankles behind it and start with that under load, it's even better. But even starting at a 90 with a good amount of strain on that muscle will be a good thing.
How would somebody get their leg back potentially?
So if the machine itself stops at a certain point and you're looking for more, the easiest thing would be using extra padding. You could wad up a yoga mat to do it. There are also of recent time is the Hustler pad, which is like targeted. It's a targeted ad in any gym person, but it does have merit.
Yeah.
It's honestly one of the more cost-effective options other than like buying a whole new machine that has a larger range of motion and actuation.
Adjust there, right?
So yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, sick. In typical asshole me fashion, I have deficit weighted clamshell essentially. So you're going to post up between 2 benches so that you can get your hip to actually get pretty shifted to the opposing side from what you're working at. So let's say I'm laying on my left side. I'm going to have left arm on bench number 1, left shin, outer shin on bench number 2, or, lateral lower extremity. And then sometimes I'll have folks put a dumbbell on the outside of the top hip. This is like doing a Copenhagen, but instead of separating the bench, both legs are on top of the what we'll call bench number 2. You're going to drop that hip all the way down like your booty bumping the ground. You're going to fucking crush through that whole outside forearm and drive up while making sure that you don't lose ankle contact. People are going to cheat this shit and miss a lot of what can be a pretty potent contraction if they don't press the whole bottom outer half of the leg through the bench as they're driving up. Ways that you're going to cheat are by getting the top hip to start to roll back. You're just not as heavy. You want to stay almost leaning forward a little bit so that you're really trying to fight that rotation that's going to happen, and that shit will be spunky quick.
Nice.
Yeah. Here, instead of doing reps, if you're able to, or even just starting with this, I would say work on doing some top of the height hold. Maybe start
similar to like the Copenhagen regression.
3 sets of 20 seconds. If that's fucking brutal, cool. Then, the following week, 25, 30, 35. By the time you get to like a minute, I want you to start crushing reps.
Yeah. Because really you are ultimately just side planking between 2 benches at that point without the contraction.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Got it. So wrapping up, we are just going to do a machine chest fly. If you do not have a pec deck or chest fly machine, cable also totally fine. Dumbbell also totally fine. But as we talked about before, I just like the pure stability and not having to wrangle something in free space. So you just have an easy plane of motion. You're going to kind of want something parallel with your parallel from the arm pass to the ground kind of thing. You don't want to be above you or necessarily below you. You want to keep the arm mostly straight. You're not going to do a hugging motion around yourself this way, which is quite common, like the monkey smashing the cymbals. You are going to keep the arm mostly straight and think more about fanning your arm forward and just converging your bicep to your breast or your pec muscle.
Bicep to nipple.
Yes. Yeah. Bi to titty kind of thing. So same thing, 6 to 10 reps. This will require you to be honest with yourself. And it's even better if you can kind of see yourself in a mirror, because as you fatigue, your body will love to just integrate your shoulders more to get the leverage, because your subconscious knows that you just want this to go from A to B. It is your conscious mind's responsibility to make sure it's done in the right orientation and manipulating where you need to. And if you find yourself expending more energy to control where your shoulders are going, then you just need to lower the weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call out.
Thanks. But
That being said, we would love a little bit of help from our folks. If you do end up trying some of this stuff, tell us. If you could write in either the comments on a YouTube video or review on Spotify, anything that you feel like is a true testimony. Doesn't it just have to be about the workout, but any kind of interaction would be really, really appreciated and helpful for us.
Yeah. Throw us a review. I mean, most of our listeners commonly come from Spotify, but drop us a review, leave us a comment. That way we can share it on recording as well, answer any questions, or let you roast us on air. And we're good for that too.
Yeah. And we'll read it out loud. Like, I hate that skinny orangutan bitch for making me do those clamshells.
And then they can say they also hate Ronnie.
Yeah. Nice. Dude. Oh, hell yeah.
So 1 whole year, dude.
I know.
Which is like kind of crazy to think about. It seemed like it would never happen. And then ultimately it came very quickly, just the same.
I was going to say, it feels like it's been longer in some ways.
Which it has, because we started recording well before we ever released our first episode.
That's true. But I would say the 3-month offset does not feel like this much time. You know what I mean? It feels like it just has been such a normal part of things that we've been doing for more than a year.
Sure.
Man, fuck.
It's crazy.
Where are we going?
Well, where we're going is, we have talked about this before, and it's still very much in the pipeline, is being able to flesh out some other field trippy, fun, out of studio-esque things, just that like we get to be human as well, and not just riff on important matters of fitness, mindset, health, longevity, which we love and adore.
For sure.
We are also people as well, and we do a lot of silly stuff and have our own hobbies outside, much like why we have a pile of discarded
garbage
Pokemon
on the air. Fuck you, prismatic
actually,
evolution.
traumatic evolution. What did that tin cost?
$24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 packs.
That's not bad. I would. So the sting's not that terrible.
No, it's not. I mean, there are packs that cost thousands of dollars. There are, but there are even more recent ones, like within the last 5 years, that cost $40-$50 a pack.
Okay. I mean, it's not like when they first came out, like when I was collecting cards as a kid, like a pack was $3.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope.
We'd still be ripping.
The entire thing.
I don't. Yeah.
But yeah, where do we see this going? So we have plans in motion to. The biggest thing that I'm excited to include is having guests with us. Originally, we didn't really have the space. We were constrained by gear. I say that we could have made it work no matter what, but in my creative semi-control freak fashion, I still wanted it to feel and look exactly like this, just with 1 more person or 2 more people. So some extra gear had to be gotten.
Which serves us well, because I've gotten comments from folks who, in quotes, say that they've been spoiled by, the quality of the audio from the rip, which is something I'll revisit as we flesh out more of the episode. But yeah, that's a good problem. So don't knock yourself for that, because I'm glad you are that way. That's how we made it through.
A persnickety little controlling a-hole when it comes to the creative process.
In the good ways, yeah.
But yeah, main thing is just being able to be in person with people, because we've done it on kind of streaming Zoom type call things, which is great. Yeah. But we always have more fun when we've had our own, just if we're sick or one of us is out of town, we'll have a Zoom call version of this. Yeah. And it's fine, but this is just it's so much better. So I'm really excited to be able to include others in that and see how that changes the dynamic and where conversations are steered, because that's just a whole dynamic we've yet to touch on. Yeah. So that's like the next piece that I'm super excited about. What about you?
No, I mean, that fucking wraps it up good. I'm super stoked about that. I haven't even really given it like a ton of proper thought. Like I knew that we're aiming and working towards that, but when you actually, if you try to imagine another person sitting here, it's like, oh wow, this is actually very different, especially because we've been doing stuff between just you and I in person for the entirety of it. Like for a year, it's like, holy shit, this is a completely novel experience. So that's going to be really, really fun. Really appreciative of, you know, the use of the space here at Nashville Chiropractic, but it would be amazing to have a space, you know? So
yeah, that would be on the horizon too. It's just having a dedicated space for us.
We're both becoming more and more of the crystals and stars and ducks will line up as we
talk more about it,
hum and hoe and light the candles. So
my crystals are currently charging, so
good. Yeah, my moon water is ready for consumption tonight.
Moon water.
But yeah, good stuff ahead. We're excited. To sort of counter a little bit of that, what do you feel like have been the biggest challenges to a year of consistency?
Just that we and anyone who gets to consume this just gets to see a 30 to 60 minute episode every single week, like clockwork. If you check in, great. It's always going to be there. If not, where the planning, the execution, the aligning of schedules, the rebalancing of schedules on the back half. So Ronnie does most of the hosting and all of the social media stuff. I do most of the post-production and editing stuff on that. So there's so much time that goes into this, and it'll be lovely, again, manifesting. And when this makes more sense to outsource more things, once this is a little bit more stable and monetized properly. So I think we're both in agreement that we would still like to break even with any money that comes in if we could unload some of those responsibilities.
For sure.
Because they are all consuming, but it's worth it. I mean, if you would have told me 2 years ago that we'd have a podcast, I'd be like, what? Yeah, that sounds like a lot. And it is.
It is a lot,
Biggest challenge really is just keeping the schedules consistent and really just getting after it, because it's a lot to do something. It's a loud bitch.
Yeah, it's the water sipper.
The water
doing whatever it's doing.
I gotcha. So yeah, that's a big challenge. Personally for me on the gear and production side, challenges of there's always gonna be gremlins, and there's a lot of learning and headache. So we record, we hope for the best. Thankfully, we've never really had an audio. We had like one audio issue.
One time.
But like video is a little bit more persnickety. Like a camera will randomly overheat and shut off, or a battery that looks good might not be good, or a white balance is off. So it has just been a real work in progress to get it to look and consistently be the way we want it. But that's just part of the process.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think some of the biggest challenges are?
I mean, for sure, the scheduling, I think, is pretty tricky. We've been fortunate to be able to pretty much consistently map Sundays almost from the get-go as like
that's our
holy day. And it's funny because it actually just replaced more so than anything like the coffee date, exploring parts of Nashville. It's like what ended up becoming the podcast. And we're like, hey, we're doing this anyway. So that doesn't feel that different, but the difference is that was hanging out and sipping coffee. And this is like, work with your friend.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've done a really good job of balancing that, and not having any kind of like weird shit come up between us, right? Like as like friends, because that's like a really real thing and a big threat to a lot of people who like wouldn't, I don't think, be able to compartmentalize it as well. And so that's not a challenge. I'm like going into the positives. I'm like, well, here's everything good about it. But yeah, the timing, the demand, the feeling like you can always do more, just like never stops. And it's hard to manage when there's a million things going on, and like keep good balance within your own life. But I wouldn't trade it. I feel like one of the biggest lessons, which is like a bit of a, segue for us into this next nook, is that level of consistency. I mean, it parallels a lifestyle of like honoring your health and training and fitness and any kind of good quality trait. Like we haven't missed a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that.
And that's fucking hard. Like shit has happened and it's been like not favorable.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a stretch of what from the last summer into
fall.
all of the fall where it was like, holy fuck, what are we doing? Like we can't miss, and we just haven't. And so like, sure, the episode might not been like the best thing, but I'm more proud of us for the continuation of that. Despite
ugly action always beats perfect inconsistency.
Yeah. And it's kept us learning more, being able to even like process new ideas and integrate different things. Like the workout of the week idea, like things like that just start to come up from it's like a muscle. It's like songwriters are better at writing music because they don't just fucking sit and wait for the words to come to them. Like it's a effort and a different kind of art. Right. So yeah.
Dope.
Super appreciative of that.
I would say too, for me on the challenges and lessons side is there obviously is always going to be a pressure, especially doing this weekly. I mean, certain podcasts come out bi-weekly or monthly. Yeah. Coming out weekly is having to, the weird need, like it needs to be perfectly new, perfectly fresh.
Yeah.
All that kind of things. And it doesn't need to be. And that I think is our own creative pressure and gremlins kind of talking like, oh, if it's not the most unique, never overlapped thing, you're failing. And what the lesson in this is, much like anything else, anything as a creative that you put out, generally whatever you think is going to be the most heavy hitting, emphatic thing is not. And the most trivial things that you don't even think about, someone will come up to you or I and just expound upon. This was so good to hear at this one moment. I relate to that so much. So that is the biggest lesson is don't get lost in the sauce. Don't expect or try to predict anything because the more you do, the more you're going to be either disappointed or surprised that whatever you envisioned is not what lands or resonates most with your audience. And that's actually the lesson there is to really enjoy that part of the process.
Yeah, that's so true. I think, I forget the dude's name. He's talking about content production more from like the Instagram or TikTok side and was like, every single one of these fucking things is a lottery ticket and you have no idea what will work, what won't, why. The thing that I spent 5 seconds recording got 100 million views and this other thing that I spent mad long on, fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that it's going to work that way. That's just like the anecdotal, like, that's bizarre that happened, but it's so real. And I think I try to remember too, like the whole point was from inception, just like sharing expertise about something that we don't know everything about, but we might know more than the person who spent their life as an accountant. Like it just hasn't had the same type of like exposure. Much like we've said in other episodes, people who have like really admired your music life, right? And all of the adventures and things. And they didn't have that. They were married at 28 and then down went the rest of the ship sort of like through its lane, right? And so there's always going to be a trade-off to those things, but all that to say, like the core ethos is to like keep providing value. So I guess some of my hope, sort of scrambling back to the vision casting, is like we build more integration around people feeling comfortable and almost called to share some stuff and just like get on board and really like, hey, can you talk about this? Or like, it's not a big ask. It's actually really helpful
for sure. And it's nothing is too trivial. Like if you have something that relates even a little bit to anything that we talk about or experience, like we want to share that with people. If we're just randomly talking into a void for people to listen to, I guess that sort of works. But the bigger takeaway from this is we get to actually exchange that with people and connect and actually have a proper exchange rather than just being like, hey, we think we have this figured out. Would, do with that what you
This
please.
Is what you should do. Yeah, right. No, and have some fun with it and put a little nipple twist on there. And
we love a good tweakage of the nipple. So speaking of that, what are your top 3 experiences / nipple tweaks when it comes to this pursuit of ours?
Man, there's something so fond in my mind about, I don't know if it was the first or second time that we set up to record in my place, I'm like a Christmas slut, so that just helps
tree
everything.
and
The
Santa
tree,
Pikachu.
fucking Pika, yeah. We went to Raising Cane's, like
Yeah.
we were just like bopping around. Like there was something so fun about figuring it out for the first time. And then also for myself, I've been on camera like plenty as a person, like friends recording shit, making stupid videos, whatever. I never felt like odd about that, but it just felt so funny, like having lights, I was like, holy fuck, I'm in like a production. So you really showed up like from the get-go. We were cruising. I would say that's one of my first fond recollections, and just wow, I feel like that was sort of good. Like, feeling it out and all that was interesting. What's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Similar to that, I think the next rung was when we went to the next space that Irene helped us with. And that felt a little bit more legitimized. And then getting that to start working with all the little noisy quirks that came with
and
it.
The fucking sun suddenly beaming through the window. Like,
yeah. But also too, to kind of commemorate that in our launch, Zach Trizio, we always shout him out, but he did our first promo shoots, and that just made it feel all the more like, oh, we're actually doing something. Like we had like launch photos, and which again, we didn't need. It could have been just fine, but it just was a cherry on top, and it felt really, really cool to be able to kind of build hype that way and actually launch it day of. So that was just, it was a cool moment of, not that it was just like authenticity in a way, even though it's,
Yeah, it was a good reflection of like capturing our oddity in sync in that space. So I agree. I think that was a fun level arc to the unfolding of what's been happening. What else you got?
I'm going right into my number 2.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're going to give me a number 2.
For me, so while this is a health and wellness podcast, and it's always going to be probably one of my favorite things to come from this, it was our Japan recap episode.
True.
Because just the original experience was absolutely fantastic, but reliving it and getting to reflect post.
True.
And just go through that I think was, correct me if I'm wrong, that might have been our first deviation.
It was
from the normal program.
From strictly like, it was the first change up. Well deserving.
Yeah. And so that was cool to see that we could do that and it be okay, and other people be okay with it too. Because that's also a challenge and a fear and a lesson, is that, well, what if we do deviate and it just fall? Again, it's one episode, but it's so much more emphatic in your brain when you think about the potential repercussions of those choices, like those fears that we just let kind of consume us. Like, well, are we doing the right thing right now? But it's like, you know what? Screw it. It's our lives. We can do what the hell we want.
Yes. Yeah.
Which take that, listeners.
Yeah. We've embraced. It's very on par with both of our personalities. That was so fun. I feel like that also sort of embodied the goal of writing shit down while we were like in the trip, which I never really fully did properly. But that really helped to re-establish some of the memories. Cause like you'd said, even while fucking being there, like I was like, when did we do that? And you both were like, that was like this morning. And I was like, what? No, it wasn't. That was like last week. And you're like, nah, like that other thing, that was like 2 hours ago. I was like, what?
Yeah. So a little pro tip, and this took me a while to arrive at, but when you are doing something experiential or having a vacation, it's so easy to start ramping up and getting lost in the momentum. And your first day or two feel really long, and you lose track of everything in the middle until you come back down to ground and say, oh, I leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you're trying to hold on to every memory. So what we had a good habit of doing is just sitting there for about an hour each night afterward. It's just write down every single thing, what we experienced, what we thought about it. And it really made 9-10 days feel like 3 weeks.
Yeah, easily.
So that was and not in a bad way, not in like a purgatory, we're stuck in time way.
For sure.
But it really let us reflect and really experience all of those grand things and feel them and continue to feel them rather than, we'll think about that later. And it never comes back.
Yeah. Highlighting the moments between the bathhouse and something else, as opposed to just like, there were 3 pillars to the day. This is what they were. It's like, no, there was like 80 moments.
Yeah.
Right. That might have felt a little bit more special.
Yep. So for just quick tip for anyone who thinks that life is speeding up and they're losing track of it, which does happen, that's a way to keep a little bit more of a ground level feel of time. Yeah.
Agreed.
What about you? Number 2?
I would say one of my favorite episodes was, chatting with Rory. I'm a huge cardio nerd, and I feel like between the time I spent working with him and then the aftermath of just like continuing a friendship through what was like all virtual is funny. And we always shit all over and, light a match on social media and the demands and changes that it's placing on like us as people. But one of the good pieces is being able to meet people that like you otherwise never would have. I really enjoyed our conversation. I felt like it was super packed with a lot of shit that even we
He's
still
a good hang for sure.
Yeah. It was like a fun time. Just like, I feel like we were talking about shit. Like it felt like, this is what being in person with like somebody who's going to mesh well is going to be fucking super fun because I mean, we're talking about music and random shit and, I felt like the conversation could have gone any way and it would have been fine. And it's just a nice reminder that, like you just said, like ultimately this is our show. And so if we want to take it to talking about your favorite dessert, like, or it's something that's just not health at all, like it's fine. Yeah. What you got? Final dose.
For me, it was just honestly just guests in general to kind of piggyback off of that, just because until we started including people, it was really hard to really see how that would what that would, turn into, how that would unfold. So it's every single person that we've had the pleasure of having on this podcast, so which I'll say thank you to everybody. There's just little bits of conversation that we'll have a framework to kind of steer where we want to go, but just where it always ends up, you're like, man, that was sick. And that insight or that take or that experience for this person, it's like, man, this is really cool. And we're really lucky to get to do what we do. And we're humbled and lucky to have people entrust us with their time.
Totally.
And their viewpoints and their experiences, because we've, every guest we've had so far is just, there's just morsels all on the way and you just get lost in these little tangents. And those are the good parts, the unplanned parts
100%.
that just seep out the side. And it's like, man, that's been a really special thing for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to clarify too, I don't say that, Rory was the only interview that I enjoyed. No. Just to be abundantly clear. All of them have been amazing in different ways.
This just happened to be
forms.
what I wrote down as my thing.
Totally. And I appreciate that because, like you said, they are all so unique, and I would love to be able to do follow-ups, in person with the people that would work well for, or that it's like feasible, right? And that aren't in like California or elsewhere that's pretty far. But yeah, man, I think the last thing I would say is just it sort of circles back into the lesson. I'm just very thankful for the experience of having to continually show up, right, and do this stuff. It just teaches you so much about, your own capacities and all that stuff. So, we hope that you enjoyed. And little
there are no more episodes. We're done. 1 year in and out.
Yeah,
closed out.
It's just like, see you fuckers. Like we're totally done. Little loving, kind reminder, if you would be so kind, some stars, some reviews.
Yeah, that'd be delightful.
Some
You'd
comments,
be really helping
some
us
messages, some shit you'd like us to talk about, some stuff you'd like us to not, so that we can talk about it.
Just to spite you.
Yeah, no, just kidding. But 1 year fully in the fucking bag.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats. Love you, dude.
Love you, bro. Until
Adios.
next time. Bye.